You're on the Six Screens Telenetwork, earning the reputation of giving all the right ingredients, uninhibited in exposing the hard, cold facts about the Watchtower Society.
And now, in Disney.
Well, it's official. Serena Williams is officially retiring from tennis, and she lists spiritual goals as one of the reasons. A serial arsonist trying to take out Kingdom Halls in Canada. An announcement read this week at the Kingdom Halls, they're resuming the house-to-house ministry, and no one should be pressured to participate. And we got video clip from the convention for you. I think you'll find it very, very fascinating. And also there's some rumors floating around on some new light. We're going to talk about that tonight. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome in. Welcome in to the Six Screens Telenetwork. We're so glad to have you with us. And boy, I will tell you, it is just excellent what I am seeing going on right now in the Jehovah's Witness religion. These guys are losing ground. They really, really are. And I have to mention to you, too, that they're losing ground because more and more people are getting on the internet. More and more people are viewing the YouTube videos made by apostates, listening in here to the Six Screens, writing on forums online. So it's been amazing. It's been amazing. But anyways, I'm here at the control panel at the apostate capital of the world up here in Boston, Massachusetts. And we've got a number of things going on in my control room. We got 6 computers running. You can't see it, but we got 6 computers running here. And we're actually broadcasting on 8 different platforms. So I guess the message is getting out. So, it takes a little bit of time to put it all together. But lately, it's been going off pretty well. And we also have a conference line tied into this. And that takes a little more effort as well. And we love it when people call into the program. So we're looking forward to tonight and what the news is and what's really going on behind the Watchtower. We do it every Saturday night. We've been doing it. We've been doing it for 16 years. In January of this year, 2023, will be 17 years. We have never missed a Saturday night. We are here because you are here. People depend on this. This is where people get to vent. This is where people get to give their concerns about a very evil organization. Well, again, my name's Rick Farron, and welcome in tonight to the Six Screens. If you're new, I'm glad you're with us. And try to listen in to the program tonight. And if you do miss it, if you do miss our program, the programs all get put up on YouTube. And also, you can go to Rick Farron SoundCloud. Rick Farron SoundCloud. Type it into Google, and that'll bring you right in, and you can listen to hundreds of our podcasts that we've done in the past. So anyways, let's take a look. Let's see what's going on. Well, tonight, I think the first thing I'd like to do is talk about Serena Williams. Well, she's officially retiring. She's retiring from tennis. Did you hear that this week? And you know what the reason is? She's cited in the newspaper. She's cited she's officially retiring from tennis because she wants to seek spiritual goals. That's one of the big reasons why she's actually leaving. Can you imagine that? Isn't that something, huh? I'm going to try to get a picture of Serena up here. Let me just see if I can't share a screen. And I want you to see, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, you'll see her. And I think you'll find it very, very fascinating that she's on the cover of Vogue magazine. She's on the cover of Vogue magazine. I'm just trying to get this up for some reason. Well, let me go back here. I think I can do it this way. And let me see if I can. But it'll be a smaller picture. But I want you to see the picture. She looks good in the picture. She looks pretty darn good in the picture. So let me see if I can't get that up here. Whoop. Well, I don't know if I just connected from my SoundCloud. I don't know if I'm still on the air or not. I hope I am. I think I am. Let me just see what happened here. Let me get
You're
back.
on the air.
I know I'm on the air on the radio, but I might have disconnected from YouTube. I'm not sure. Let me try to go back and take a look. I know we got a bunch of YouTube people that are listening in, so I want to make sure we're still on. I know we got a bunch of okay. Hold on one second, friends. Just forgive me for a second. So I want to make sure we just kind of lost some information here. For some reason something went a little haywire, but I guess we still are broadcasting. So that's a good thing. But I've got to get back into StreamYard here and see what's going on in there. So I'm going to try to just give us a second. Hey, Anne-Marie, you want to come on for a second while I just figure something out here that happened in the control panel? Can you come on, Anne-Marie?
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing you, but maybe you're not. Go ahead. I'm still blown away. Go ahead, sweetheart.
I'm on with you. Whatever you want to talk about.
Dick, what do you think is on my mind? Just give me a hint. What do you think?
Say that again, please.
What do you think is on my mind? That incredible show we had with everybody coming on and what you brought out. What really for us?
That was really, really outstanding. The caller that called, I don't think he gave his name just before Ken came on for this.
Yeah, the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, boy, he was right on target. I kudos to him. He spoke so well. Right on the right on the head. And again, I know I say this a lot when I'm on six screens, that if you had the guts to go door to door, and most of the people listening to this program right now are Jehovah's Witnesses or former Jehovah's Witnesses, the majority. And if you had the guts to go knocking on people's door and facing people face to face, it must be a whole lot easier to be on six screens, tell your experience, or, write a postcard to a friend. You don't even necessarily find it, Just say, listen to six screens, give the phone number, and maybe a little, if you want to speak up, hit *6 and say they're coming up with a lot of good information. And you might even put in there, they say it's an apostate site. Well, if it is, why don't you jump in there, because they'll let you talk, and straighten us all out, straighten all of us apostates out. I mean, it just can't take a whole lot of guts to do that.
I guess we're back on, Dick and Anne-Marie. I guess we're back on. Yeah, I just lost our YouTube feed there for a few minutes, but we're back on live now. But thank you guys very much for kind of filling in. I do have Serena on the screen. Thank you. We do have Serena on the screen. If you guys can look at the YouTube screen right now, you'll see her on the screen. So that's Serena, and Serena is officially retiring, like I say, from tennis. And she's going to be seeking spiritual goals. That's what she's going to be doing. So, I mean, spiritual goals, that's a witness term. But, I wonder how she could even be considered a witness. She never was baptized. She has a baby before being married. Witnesses don't do that. And she went to Meghan Markle's birthday party, and she poses nude in magazines. How could you be one of Jehovah's Witnesses? But it looks like she's going to be making at least a return, get a little bit deeper into her spirituality. Well, good luck to her. I'm really thinking that, she's not going to like being a Jehovah's Witness after living the lifestyle that she's lived. And I'm wondering if the summer conventions might have influenced her decisions. I'm not sure if that might have happened. I don't know if she went to the convention or not, but Serena has spent most of her life as a witness. At least she claims to be somewhat attached to the truth. But as the witnesses would say, she's never been in the truth. She's just around the truth. And she'll be only a Jehovah's Witness by name, I'm sure. There's no possibility. It's not possible at all that she's going to be able to stomach the real world of Jehovah's Witnesses after living the lifestyle that she has. She's definitely earned her retirement. I have to say, she's been a remarkable tennis player. But it's sad to see if this is the case. I'm not even sure, but it's posted all over the internet. And Vogue magazine's got her big spread this September. And she's talking about spiritual goals. And we know that she always thanked Jehovah, right? When she'd win a match, she'd always thank Jehovah. That's been brought out in the news as well. Well, she must have been heavily indoctrinated if she's now coming back somehow to the witnesses. You would almost think that being famous as Serena was, that would wake her up on the so-called organization. But I guess it didn't. And I'm wondering how many Bibles or books will she actually autograph going door to door. I can just imagine seeing Serena Williams at your door on a Saturday morning. That would be some sight to see, wouldn't it? Oh, come to the door, honey. Come to the door. Serena Williams is here. I mean, could you imagine that? I mean, I can't. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that. That is totally unbelievable. Well, you're on 6 screens, JW World News. What do you think?
Rick,
yes.
can we comment now?
Of course, yeah, sure, you can comment, sure.
This is Zachary. In advance, I want to apologize just in case I come in and out. I'm having, as they say, equipment problems with what I'm speaking in. But Rick, you said you're saying Jehovah's Witness. Did she define what her spiritual goals are?
She didn't, Zach, but we do know right up until the very last game she played, from what I recall seeing her on TV, at the end of the game, she thanked Jehovah.
I don't think that convinces me
But
that
he's-
she's going to.
he's
She means
shows
she's going to
us
be
that
Jehovah's
Olympia's
Witness.
lifestyle
I
praying
think that
Well,
hello.
hello everyone. My name is Rick Ferret.
Hello.
Oh, go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
No, I think you don't know until you actually see her back with the witnesses, because spiritual goals could be anything. I mean, she's getting to the age where she might want to retire, and she says spiritual goals, you know. But if she didn't define that that's what she's going to be, I don't know that we know that she's going to be Jehovah's Witness.
Hey, Zach, she said
Yes.
that her girl is so beautiful and 5 now and prays for a baby sister or brother. So I think that's a new spiritual goal.
Yeah, I guess that was a spiritual goal handed down to Adam and Eve.
This is her second Vogue cover, so she's in that top tier witness land that we're not in.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is interesting. I'm happy for her that she's able to retire, and she's basically tasted everything in her in sports, you know, in the one that she excels in.
Yeah, who'd like to chime in with us? Go ahead. You're on 6 screens. Go ahead, speak up. Yep.
Rick, a couple of years ago, I was over your house. I think you showed me a Sports Illustrated picture of one of the sisters. I don't recall which one. Maybe it was Serena, but she actually took a picture in a nude, but she was like sitting in a chair, and she brought her knees up to cover her breasts. But you could tell that she was nude, and you know, she was going to the Kingdom Hall then, but of course they didn't do anything. Saying because she's probably a big shot and she probably contributes to the Kingdom Hall, just like Michael Jackson or Michael Jackson's mother celebrating Michael's birthday. It was on videotape. They didn't do anything to Michael Jackson's mother or Michael Jackson or any of the other Jacksons because I'm sure they contributed very much to their local congregation, so they were untouched. Thanks, Rick.
Well, that's more than likely what does happen. And the celebrities do get treated differently, Dick. They really do get treated differently. That's a known fact. So anyways, we're glad you're with us tonight. We get more stories. I'm sorry, we're having some issues here tonight with our feed, with our Facebook and YouTube feed. I'm trying to correct it here as I speak, but I'm just going to try one thing here. I'm getting a little bit of feedback. We're We're going to remove, let's see what we're going to do here. All right. So anyways, let's go to the next story anyways. I'll play on this as we're going along. Serial arsonist trying to take out Kingdom Halls in Canada. Did you see that story this week? My goodness gracious, that's an amazing thing. But I've heard it before. We've heard it many times before about arsonists trying to burn down Kingdom Halls. And this happened up in Toronto area, up in Hamilton. Hamilton police say that officers are searching for a serial arsonist after a man ignited fires at the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witness place of worship in the city of St. Clair neighborhood. And that was about 2 days ago. He actually tried it a couple of times this week. And it seems like it was two separate Kingdom Halls, and surveillance cameras were around the Kingdom Hall, and it showed the man outside the Kingdom Hall. And he appeared to spray paint the building, and he was appearing to at least set it on fire in front of the doorway. So that's something to think about. I've heard this a number of times before. Numerous Kingdom Halls throughout the world have been attacked. And it goes into a little more detail here, but you don't have to know all of that. But this man, it could be very dangerous, obviously. He was reported carrying a yellow shopping bag with black lettering on it. And anyways, what he was trying to do is destroy the Kingdom Hall. And I would assume this guy got pushed over the edge by some elders and perhaps disfellowshipped. And sometimes when you're having nothing left to lose, a person will resort to this type of behavior, unfortunately. Now, I would never encourage this type of behavior at all. I would never do that. But people do get so ticked off at how the Jehovah's Witnesses are treating them that they do things like this. Perhaps he might have lost his family due to shunning, or perhaps a family member died because they refused a life-saving blood transfusion. Obviously, he's one hurting man, and I'm really shocked, to be honest with you, that we don't see more of this stuff happen. I hate to even bring it up. But, people getting disfellowship, people being distanced from their family, people being treated badly. I feel like it could only be a matter of time. And I certainly would hope nothing would ever happen. But with all of the mass shootings and all of the things that you're seeing happen around the world, and especially in this country, the witnesses have got along pretty good. And I hope that they can have good security and keep their doors locked, as they have been doing in many Kingdom Halls. There are way too many people of doing things like this man did, trying to burn the Kingdom Hall down. So for the Jehovah's Witnesses to go on assuming that they can treat all ex-Jehovah's Witnesses like crap, I think they're assuming things in the wrong way. People now are coming back and retaliating. But in the United States, you try to burn a church down or a Kingdom Hall, this is considered a hate crime. And that's on top of a charge of arson. So that would amplify one's jail sentence. But it doesn't surprise me at all that you would see this happen. Comments, go ahead. Who wants to come on and say something? You're on with us. Let's hear from you.
Rick?
Yes, Anne-Marie.
Thank you. The situation, Watchtower loves to proclaim, oh, we're so great, we're so good, blah, blah, blah. But any little thing, oh, we're being persecuted, look at how we're being treated. But, this makes me so sick, like Summer Breeze was saying. She's so disgusted. They are so adept at being horrible and causing so much horrible depression, and they torture people. They mentally and emotionally torture people who don't completely and perfectly and without question obey them and serve them loyally. And this situation reminds me of a poor wife who has struggled to be a good wife, and she's being abused and spat on and called names and slapped and hit and knocked around, and she's being abused every day of her life, and she finally snaps and sees the only means of escape is to kill her abuser husband. And now all of a sudden, she's in trouble. She's the bad guy. And that's how Watchtower is. When they have tortured somebody to the point where they have nothing left to lose, as you brought out, this man probably lost his wife, his children, all his friends, probably his entire family. And what else, you're going to have a breaking point. And it's not you're not condoning, you're not advocating, you're not even supporting. But we can say, we get it, we understand. Thank you, Rick.
Well, thank you, Anne-Marie. Appreciate you coming on tonight, too, at your program. An excellent, excellent program. Anne-Marie, we have still got some sound issues here that I'm trying to fix. I've got a lot of things.
Okay,
so I'm just going to have you come in for a few more minutes, you and Dick, if you like. And folks, just bear with us here. We're getting some echoes. I'm just trying to hunt down where the sound is coming from, because I want you to hear some clips that we've got. So, Anne-Marie, I just want you to reiterate what happened tonight on your program. I found that fantastic that we had those people calling in. I just want you to relate to the audience. Well, what do you think is happening out there in JW Worldland? Yeah.
Well, I think overall there have been so many Jehovah's Witnesses. I call them Watchtowerites because they don't really serve Jehovah. They serve the organization. If you read any of their literature or listen to any of their speeches, if you would insert the organization or the governing body in every time they say Jehovah, then you would get a very clear, undeniable understanding that they are constantly telling you, submit to them, the organization, believe what the organization, don't question the organization, faithfully serve the organization, keep your faith in the organization strong, don't waver in your faith to the organization, and above all, remain absolutely loyal in every way to the organization without question. And this is something that has kept these people hanging on. I mean, more and more are letting go of what they think is the lifeboat, and they're letting go, and they're letting the tide take them to the land of freedom, even though they're scared to death. But there are those that are hanging on, their fingertips are turning purple, they're dying, they're miserable, they're sad, they're depressed, they're exhausted, they're overwhelmed, and they're not finding fulfillment, but they continue to hang on to this organization. And that is just, that blows our minds. We know it blows our minds. A lot of us say, we just don't understand why they don't get on the internet. All the information is available. It's because they don't know any other way, but they are still waking up. And every time I hear people finally getting it, it is just, it makes me want to do the happy dance, and trust me, I do. But when I was stumbling across the Scarlet Letter, the book I haven't read in almost 25 years by Nathaniel Hawthorne, the protagonist is Hester Prynne, and she is portrayed as this terrible, wicked, evil, sinful person who has just the depravity of her choice, because she fell in love with somebody that she wouldn't name and made love with him and got pregnant and gave birth to a baby, and they imprison her and they mock her and they spit on her and they say horrible things to her and they call her names and just try to constantly in every way possible tell her that she is garbage and so is her baby. And the thing is, all of the notes that you can learn, all of the things that you can glean from reading this book, which is really a study in not only human behavior, but in the why of the human behavior. Why do people who condemn others feel such a need to condemn others? Why are those who shun, not as strong as those who are being shunned? Go ahead, whoever's wanting to talk. Somebody wanted to say something?
Go ahead, Amber. It's just me playing.
Just a quick thought.
Oh.
Go ahead, Victor. Go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking that you mentioned the reason that they want to feel superior in themselves by lowering other people and how they're viewed. They want the truth to be right, and so they condemn other people to make themselves feel more right, that they're the right way, they're righteous, they're good. But in effect, they're really doing the opposite of what's righteous. They're doing what's wrong. Because the Bible doesn't teach that, but they don't know that. They just know what the Watchtower is drilled into their brains over and over and over at every meeting. That, the prophets are bad, the fellowships are bad, evil. They'll never be good again. Because once they kick you out, they'll never let you back in. They don't want you back in. You're too much trouble for them. Too much trouble for the elders. They don't want to deal with you, really. They just as soon just drop off the face of the earth.
Ooh, so true, Susan.
Yes, hello, good afternoon.
Go ahead, dear. Go ahead.
In the case of Jehovah's Witnesses, you are dealing with majority, largely uneducated, but largely arrogant people. And this is a fatal combination. Now, this hasn't resulted as a result that Jehovah's Witnesses are inherently bad people, because they are all loving people. However, they have come to be taught that loyalty goes before love. So you can test a Jehovah's Witness, and he will always go back to being loyal to Jehovah, or loyal to the organization which has been sold to him to be just like Jehovah. Little by little, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, the organization became more and more physical, more here, more present. And little by little, we saw more of the governing bodies, more of them coming out. Now, we see the entirety of it. And it's a hard pill to swallow on either side. The Jehovah's Witnesses currently has become a self-righteous hypocrisy. And the only reason for that is that here we have a group that is unable to take any kind of criticism. You cannot call this group and ask them the same questions that you could ask any other organization. They will not take any questions because they do not have a concern for the public in general. They only have a concern for their bottom line.
That is so true. I remember a video clip of two witness women out in the ministry, and basically it's the cult recruiting work of the Watchtower, and they ran into a gentleman who was willing to talk to them, and he did listen to their schmeal, their sales pitch, I call it, and he tried to bring out one simple question that they couldn't answer, the poor sister whose turn it was to be at the door, and she tried to struggle to understand what his question was and how to answer it and how to respond. And the sister she was with literally grabbed her arm and she said, "Don't talk to him, he's an apostate." This was just a guy in the door-to-door work, not an ex-Jehovah's Witness, but this woman grabbed that sister's arm, yanked her, not pulled her, yanked her away roughly and said, "We don't waste our time talking to apostates. We're here to share the good news with those who have the right heart to listen." And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, this wasn't a setup. This happened to be caught. Somebody filmed it. And, this is the way it is. Like you said, they are all in the cult to obey the cult, to serve the cult, bring people into the cult to also obey the cult and serve the cult and be loyal to the cult. And if in any way, shape, or form you step out of line, such as by asking questions, you don't get answers. You get hauled into the back room, and your loyalty to the governing body, no, excuse me, they say the faithful slave, is very heavily questioned. They don't care if you've lost faith in Jehovah or Jesus or the Bible. They want to know if your loyalty is still solid to the faithful and discreet slave, aka those who run your life. Thank you for bringing that up. Is there anyone else who wants to speak up until Rick comes on? If you didn't get to comment before, this is your chance, because we had one heck of a show, especially with Summer Breeze coming on, and Constance and Dick and Pixie and everybody else who commented. Ken, anybody have any comments on anything? Like the guy that was going around trying to burn up Kingdom Halls? I wouldn't burn up the one that's still close to me that I used to attend, but I understand it because they push you over the brink.
I was just thinking, Anne Marie, this is Susan. Right. The person who was doing this is probably an husband of a Jehovah's Witness or an ex-Jehovah's Witness. Reason being that he did it at night when no one was there. If a person's really angry and they hate Jehovah's Witnesses, they would do it when a meeting is going on. But they didn't do that. They did it in the middle of the night to make a statement of their hatred for what the witnesses stand for and what the witnesses have either done to him personally or to his family. So I just wanted to mention that.
Wow, Susan, you know what? That is such a good point. I mean, the Watchtower might want to condemn, but was he like a crazy shooter, wait until the meeting, everybody was showing up for the meeting and just shooting everybody, or waiting until everybody's exiting? Did he set fire to their cars? Were they ever in the meeting? No. But there was a brother, I forgot his name, but he wrote a book, Truth or Consequences, or Truth and Consequences. And I still have this book, but basically he woke up and he started doing a lot of research and found out what the organization really, really was, and gently tried to share little bit of things that he was learning with his very hard-nosed Nazi Jehovah's Witness wife. And, she kept saying no, and he would leave books open and say, please just look at this, please just consider that. And state don't tell me
Unless I can, yeah.